You're listening to Hunting the Front Lines, part of the Praying and Slaying Podcast Network. This show is led by retired Army Sergeant Justin Wilson and dedicated to the men and women hunters who serve or have served in the U.S. military and chase game wherever they're stationed. From on-base hunts to wild ground just outside the wire, Hunting the Front Lines is your go-to resource for scouting new terrain, learning the ropes, and making the most of every opportunity at your next duty station. Now let's dive in.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hunting the Front Lines podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wilson, and today's guest is a really good friend of mine. We have traveled out west a few times to do some antelope hunts. We hunted whitetail together a few times. He lives in Missouri. He's a Navy vet, Mr. Eric Myers. Today, he's going to come on and talk about his experiences going through Navy basic training. I don't know what they call basic training. I don't know what they call it. He's going to talk about his experiences doing that. We're going to talk a little bit about, the back to basics segment. We'll knock some of that stuff out at the beginning. We'll jump into his military history, the things he's done, things he's proud of in his career. Talk a little bit about what he does now at Fort Leonard Wood, because he works out there on base now as a civilian contractor. And then we're going to jump into hunting out west. That segment is going to kind of tie in to what me and Mr. Aaron Stonehawker are going to talk about too, about hunting out west. So I thought I'll go ahead and knock that out today with Eric, and then I'll jump into it again with Aaron later on. So just tune in for that future episode with Mr. Stonehawker. That's going to be a really good one. We're going to discuss quite a bit there, put out some good information for all you guys and gals going out there, or that's thinking about going out there. And like I always say, get you a drink, get you some popcorn, and a snack, whatever you want, and let's go. Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother?
How are you? I'm good, man. Just hanging in there. How about you?
Same.
So, man, I'm glad I finally got you on.
Yeah.
So I started a new segment this year called Back to Basic. So I'm having veterans on to talk about their experiences in basic training. I'm having ex-drill sergeants, active duty drill sergeants talk about their experiences from basic training. So I want to hit on that tonight. And I'm also doing I don't want to say a special episode this year with Aaron about going out west to hunt.
Yeah,
we're gonna jump into that and talk about that. So I want to jump in a little bit of that tonight and talk about that with you too, because you go out west and hunt quite a bit.
Yeah.
So starting off, man, tell everybody about yourself. Talk about what made you want to join the military. What branch you were in, what you did, what your experiences were like, stuff like that. Just kind of introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Eric Myers. I joined the Navy back in 1996. Went to boot camp at Great Lakes, Illinois in February. So you can imagine how cold that was.
Oh, that would suck.
Oh, trust me, it did. Especially coming from West Virginia.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. There were times we would have to, they wouldn't let us go outside. We'd have to wrap ourselves in blankets to walk to the chow hall.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It was downright cold, especially right there, coming off that wind coming off the lake. Woo.
Oh, yeah, I guarantee it. That would suck.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You chose the wrong time to go to basic training.
Yes, I did.
So what made you want to go in the Navy?
I heard from some other people that was in the military, because I always wanted to do heavy equipment, and a lot of them was saying that the Navy had one of the best heavy equipment operator schools and jobs out there. Okay. So I just pulled the trigger on it.
Okay. So what was it like going through? Because I know for me, I was in the Army, going through Army basic training. It had its great moments, had its shitty moments. What was it like for you going through Navy boot camp? What was that like?
Well, with me working on Fort Leonard Wood here on post, and I get to see what all those basic trainings and stuff goes like. It was nothing the same.
Really?
Well, the Navy's built for ships.
Yeah.
Unlike what I did, I was a heavy equipment operator. You can't push dirt out in the middle of the ocean.
Well, no.
So a lot of our basic training was geared toward people going on ships and subs and all that stuff. And once I left boot camp, I never saw any of that. I was a dirt Seabee.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was different. I was trying to remember everything from boot camp, and I look back at it now, and that was the only time I ever heard of it or seen it. So you know, I don't remember a whole lot about boot camp. I mean, besides it being cold.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Oh, man. I always wondered because, like I said, I went through the Army and, I got friends like you that went through multiple, all the different branches and stuff. And I always talk to them about the differences because I know everybody says the Marine Corps is the hardest to go through. Then you got ours, then you got yours, and you got the Air Force. And it's like, I think they all hold their own unique challenges to them because they have to. Because just like you said, most of the Navy is geared towards subs and ships. I never seen a sub my whole time in the Army, and I knew I wouldn't. And I saw a couple ships, but I wasn't my duty station. I was just kind of hitching a ride somewhere, and that was about it.
yeah.
So, they all hold their unique challenges. I always just wondered what the difference was. I worked with a Navy Master at Arms in Iraq. He was a dog handler. And you guys in the Navy have a lot of really cool traditions.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, man. I was like, man, we've got traditions, but not like that. The stuff like, what do you call it? He got promoted to E7 while he was there, and he had to do something.
Chief's initiation.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
I thought that was
And
pretty neat.
I never made it that high. So, and it's pretty hush hush.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even speculate what all they do.
Well, I know. So, like I said, he was in the kennels with me. His room was right next to mine. There's days, man, he's up at like 3 o'clock in the morning in PT gear, taking off and leaving. Couldn't talk about where he was going, what he was doing. He
Yep.
may not get back till 9, 10 o'clock that night.
Oh
But I
yeah.
mean, he was happy to do it. And I thought, that's kind of cool. You guys have that. We don't have that in the Army. I mean, you get promoted to E7, here you go, pin your rank on
Yeah.
your gun. That's it. So,
Yeah.
man,
I
you guys
I
got a lot
have
of
no
cool
idea
stuff.
what they do.
Yeah,
I've seen them doing stuff, but it
yeah,
was just like, regular stuff like PT, they did it all on their own, so when
yeah,
you made E7, you'd have all the chiefs would do their PT on their own
yeah.
when they were going through initiation. So what they had them do, I have no idea.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty hush hush. I mean, you're like the third or fourth person that said that's pretty hush hush. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So, do you have, besides it being cold, do you have any crazy stories from basic training? Any privates doing any dumb shit? Drill sergeants doing any crazy stuff? What did you guys even call them? Were they drill sergeants or were they drill instructors or?
They were RDOs.
Okay, okay,
So yeah, I mean, they would come in, we would clear the bunks out. They'd call it abandoned ship, and you'd move all your bunks and everything off to the side, and of course, like in the Army, we get smoked.
oh yeah,
Yeah. And the craziest thing I ever seen was this one kid, he ended up throwing up. Well, another kid was, you know, wigging out. So he took off running down the bay in between all of us and just like slid right into this guy's puke and then
oh,
started eating it.
oh no way,
Way, dude. Way.
oh
He was trying to, I guess he was trying to get out. I don't know. But after that day, we never seen him again.
yeah, I'm sure he was trying to play the crazy card to get out.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like the craziest thing that I seen. I was like, what in the hell is going on here?
I said the same thing. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny, man. So, like when me and you went through basic training, there was no cell phones because I went through a '96 myself.
Yeah.
You started before I did. I didn't. I went to Alabama and I didn't start till I think July. So I picked the wrong time to go to in Alabama because it was hot as balls there.
Yep.
But it's like we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have none of that shit. And
Nah.
it shows though. So like when I was in basic training, man, I was terrified of my drill sergeants. I was scared. I didn't want to get my ass kicked. So I kept my mouth shut. I didn't say a damn word.
Yep.
Well, I had an active duty drill sergeant on last night, Matt Rigg. He's out at Leonard Wood.
All right. On.
He's an MP drill sergeant. He was telling me some of the shit that privates nowadays do. I was like, wow, we never thought of that kind of shit when I was in basic training, ever. And it's like, I just don't. I guess it's because of technology now is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like things are evolving and it's getting, wow. So that episode will be coming out probably in March. So you'll have to check that one out, man. I was like, what in the hell? They really think of this stuff? He's like, yeah. What? So it's like when I was in basic, man, we had a couple of guys sneak out, and we had where our barracks were just right down probably a mile, maybe 2 miles down the road was Burger King.
Oh,
we had a couple of guys sneak out one night and go to Burger King, got caught. I was like, man, we didn't do that kind of stuff. We did have one kid threatened to kill himself as he wanted out. He couldn't take it. And we were only probably in the second week. He's like, I want out of here. I'm done. So they let him out. I mean, it took probably a month or so to get him out, but he got all the paperwork done and got him out. But that was about it. It was kind of tame when I went through.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, same here. I mean, we had a couple people that didn't make it through, but
yeah,
the one that I told you about, and then there was a couple other ones that got hurt. But other than that,
so what was your schooling like for the heavy equipment operator? What was that like?
It was actually pretty fun. Matter of fact, it was like I was like one of the first like 10, 15 classes because it moved from Mississippi up to here to Fort Leonard Wood.
Oh, did it?
So, oh yeah. So
okay.
when I come through in 96, they had just moved up here, and I was like maybe the 10th or so class, within the top 20. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So I was in like the top 20 classes to go through here. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty neat. I'm out there at the $1 Million Hole is what they call it.
Yep. I know where that's at. Been out there quite a few times.
Oh yeah.
So when you got done in school, where did you go? Where was your first duty station at?
Gulfport, Mississippi.
Okay. Now,
NMCB 7. I was in 10 and a half, almost 11 years.
Wow. So you were right there at that hump.
Yeah.
Right there at that hump.
Yep.
Now, how many places did you go from when you left school? How many duty stations were you at?
Well, I went to NMCB 7, where we deployed to Okinawa, Japan.
Okay.
On 7 months. And then after 7 months, we come back to Mississippi for 7 months. And then from there, went to Puerto Rico for 7 months. Then back for 7 months. So every 7 months we were moving.
Really?
Whether it be to, and it wasn't just Okinawa. So when we went to Okinawa, that was what we called main body. So that's where the majority of the people went. But they had little detachments that went off from there to other places in Japan. Same thing when we went to Puerto Rico.
Yep.
We had people go to Guantanamo Bay, St. Lucius, and other places. It's been so long I can't remember, but there would be little detachments that went to different places.
So what would you guys do there? Are you guys over building stuff then, I guess?
Building stuff, yeah. Either construction, building roads. When we were in Puerto Rico, I went to a detachment on Viegas Island where we did rock crusher ops, and then we also maintained the road on the base there where the ship Navy did all of their bombing ranges.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
See, I didn't work with, let me rephrase that. I worked alongside the Seabees in Africa when I was down there. I deployed down there for 8 months. They had Seabees down there building berms and stuff like that. They were building a new range on the fob there for everybody to shoot at. And they were building roads. They built, they built all of our huts for us to sleep in.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool watching them work, man. I'd never been around the Navy before like that. And man, they were quick.
Yeah. We tried.
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, you got to work with what you got in the local area. So I know that was the big thing in Africa. It was hard to get supplies in. They either had to bring it in by ship or they had to fly it in. You were only getting I think 2 flights a week.
Yeah.
So on one of those flights, it's 95% food. The rest of it's just supplies. So, it took them a while sometimes, but I mean, man, building roads, so when I got there, we were living in hard sided tents, and then they started building huts, and then they started also getting connexes. But the huts they built, man, they were going up quick. Like, man, Iraq was not that fast, not that
Yeah.
fast at all. But man, you guys weren't messing around down there. I was like, God, they're getting this stuff up quick, and it was good quality. So
Yeah, they probably that would be the builders
yeah,
in the Navy, the BUs. And well, almost every rate would probably help out, but
yeah,
mostly it would be the builders.
okay. Now, so then, how did you get? Because you've been at Leonardwood for a while now.
Yeah, so I come to school here, and then I went to my first duty station, which was in MCB 7, and
Yep.
then after 5 years, you get the option, what they call shore duty,
Okay.
where you go there for 3 years to a duty station for 3 years, and then you stay put. Because, like I said, when we were deployable, we were moving every 7 months.
Yeah.
So the 3 year mark, come back. And I actually chose to come back here to Fort Leonard Wood to be an instructor to teach all
Oh,
the boot camp through A school.
cool.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know
So,
that. Me and you never really talked about that. I didn't even know that. I always wondered there how you got to Leonardwood.
yep, that's how I ended up back here.
Man, so you really like that place.
I did. I really did. I mean, it's kind of like home back home in West Virginia. You got a lot of woods, mountains,
Yep.
outdoor living, man. Hunting, fishing, you know.
So was Leonardwood your last duty station? That was it, and you got out?
No. So
Oh,
I
okay.
did. I ended up extending here for a fourth year because we were having a hard time getting instructors to come
Okay.
here and teach. So they gave everybody that was already here an option to extend for a year. So, well, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of that. So I extended for a year. And then when I left out of here, I went to NMCB 1, which was getting ready to deploy. So when I left here and I went down there, I was only there in Mississippi for 2 weeks, and then we were going to Spain.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So of course I left the wife and the kid here. And
Yep.
then by the time when I came back from Spain, I was literally here on leave, getting ready to head back to Mississippi. The
Mm-hmm.
day Katrina hit was the day that my leave was supposed to end.
Oh, wow.
So what they ended up doing was they called and said, "Hey, just stay where you're at. We'll call you when we want you to come back." Sweet. So I got about an extra 2 weeks of free leave out of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So about 2 weeks later, they called us to come back down there, and me and another buddy of mine, we drove back down because he actually is from this area. He was
Yeah.
from Lebanon, and he was here on leave too. But I think he was in NMCB 133.
Okay.
So we were both in port at the same time. So we ended up traveling back down there together, and man, looked like a bomb went off down there. Of course, I mean, you've seen it all on the TV and everything,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it didn't do it justice when you see
Now,
it
did
for
you
yourself.
guys help with the cleanup, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
I thought so. So talk
Yeah,
about that, because I know me and you talked about that before, and I kind of want to get that out there because you guys did a lot.
yeah, we did a lot of moving debris around and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wasn't there very long because I had some medical issues going on, and they ended up, because everything got destroyed down there pretty much, or had a lot of damage. They moved me to Pensacola so I could go to the hospital there.
Oh, okay.
So when I went over there, I was there for almost a year before they sent me back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Dang. So then I guess I take it you finished up your time there, and then you moved up to Leonardwood
Yes.
then for good.
Yep. Yep. So when I
Okay.
got back to Mississippi, they went ahead and cut me orders. I just went ahead and got out, and I ended up coming back up here.
Okay. So now you work on base now. You work
Yes.
on base now. You've worked on base. Well, I mean, since you got up there, right?
No, for the first year I didn't. I went to work for Budweiser Holland Beer, and then I went to work for Lowe's when it opened up out there in St. Robert,
Yeah.
and then finally was able to get on post.
Okay. I thought you'd worked on Leonardwood for quite a bit.
Yeah, I think 2008 is when I hired on out there, something like that. 2007, 2008.
So you worked there about 4 years before I started working out there with you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've been there. Yeah, I knew you'd been there for a while. So yeah. So for all the listeners and viewers out there, that's how we met. I was stationed at Leonardwood as an instructor, and I wouldn't even give them the choice. Which I mean, I'm glad I got to go up there now and I met all you guys. We had a blast. But at the time, I was told, "Oh, well, you're the only one certified here that can haul explosives. So you got to go up there and work." I was like, "What? There's no way the base this size doesn't have somebody certified to haul explosives. You're lying out of your mouth." So that's what I was told that I was going up there for. And then I get there and they're like, "Oh, no, you're going to haul ammo." I was like, "Okay, sure." That shit was easy and fun. I'll do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So walk us through a day in the life of you at the ASP. What does your job entail now? Because I know it's changed since I was there.
Yeah. So when you were out there with me, I was one of the drivers.
Yeah.
So I would take ammunition to the range and go pick it up and stuff like that. Well, I ended up becoming a handler that worked in the actual ASP, and I would pull everybody's order for you guys to pick up or for the unit to pick up.
Yeah.
I did that for a while, and then I ended up getting the ammunition inspector's job. So what I do now is everything that comes in Fort Leonard Wood, I have to look at it before it goes into the bunker. So when it's on the back of the tractor trailer, I go and make sure that it's all there and no damage is done to it.
Yeah.
And then I have to input it into a computer program, and then they call PIs, which is periodic and
Yeah. Yeah. The inspections.
inspections.
Yep.
So when the ammo comes up on its life cycle for a PI, I go and take care of that, and then I got to input all what I find into a program. And then when a unit draws ammo and they take it out to the range and they don't shoot it all and they bring it back, I have to inspect it to make sure that it's still serviceable for reissue. And if it's not, then I have to segregate it and put it in what we call condition code H, which is to be sent off and be destroyed.
Okay. So what would make it unserviceable?
Dents, a struck primer, a lot of dirt, corrosion, the projectile pushed down past the crimp, stuff like that.
The normal stuff we'd always see all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So which job do you like better? Do you like the job you have now, or do you like being the driver?
I'd say the job that I have now, it's a lot easier. I'm getting older.
Whatever. You're not that old. You're not that old. Don't even try that.
I feel old.
Oh, trust me, I'm right there with you. I get it. It's funny because we say that, but so for everybody out there listening right now, I can tell you that I've seen this man walking 50,000 miles for antelope. So don't believe the bullshit he's spewing right now. You and Mike both, I thought, killed me on our first antelope trip. So I don't even want to hear that shit.
Put a gun in my hand and I can walk a long ways.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that. God, man. So let's jump into that, actually. So I know, how long has it been since you guys went out there antelope hunting?
Antelope hunting, it's probably been about 4, maybe 5 years now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys just stop going because the numbers were kind of going down because of all this going on?
The numbers, well, when we first started going out there, you were able to buy your tags over the counter.
Yeah.
You didn't have to put in for a draw, and you could get up to 4 tags.
Yeah.
The area that we were hunting had an abundance of them.
Yeah.
And there was a lady that let us hunt on her ranch as well. Well, they ended up dropping the numbers to where you could only get 2, but then you also had to put in for the draw, and they were only letting so many tags go out. So it was getting harder to draw 'em. But we kept applying, and we tried different areas. We tried a couple of different areas. We still had success, but it was a lot harder hunting.
Yeah.
Than what it was the area that we knew, because we knew it like the back of our hands. If they took off running this way, we knew which way they were going. Because they can jump a fence, but it's very rare that they do. So we knew how far the fence was away and which way they were going to go.
Yep. And they'll follow fence lines.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They'll always follow fence lines.
Oh, yep. Until they have to cut across to the somewhere else. If they run into somebody on this fence line down over here, then they'll cut across. So yeah, we did that. Oh shoot, I don't know, probably 10 years. I think it was we were hunting antelope.
I say it was a while because you guys have been out there.
I think we're going on 15 years now.
I think it was like you guys were on like year 4 or 5 when I joined up that first year.
Yeah.
And then I met you guys again down there when me and Becky moved to Montana.
Yep.
And see, the year that I went with you guys, we still had to put in for the draw.
Yeah.
We had to put in for the draw, and we could.
That was like one of the first couple years that you had to put in for the draw.
Yeah, yeah. And I know how my luck works, and I was really surprised I got drawn. But we all got drawn. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That for people that's never done it, I never had a big thing for antelope until we went, and man, that's probably the funnest hunt I've ever been on in my life. That was a blast.
Yeah, it is. It's really fun. It really is.
And I learned a lot. I learned, one of my biggest lessons, I thought I learned it, but I didn't because I did the same thing on the second trip. You got to watch where you sit.
I know right where you were going with that.
Yep. Rest his soul, Tom. He saved my ass, literally.
Yes, he did.
Now, I will tell you that on the second trip, Matt screwed me. I blame him. It's his fault.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. We had a whole herd coming to us. He's like, lay down right here. Lay down right here. So I just grabbed the gun and jumped down the ground. And as soon as I laid down, man, right in my thigh, I felt him. I was like, oh, fuck. I told him, man, I'm in cactus. He goes, yeah, I am too. I said, man, this sucks.
It only took me one trip to figure that out. So every time I went to get on the ground, I always knew to look before I went down.
I'm going to find some bubble wrap next time I go. That's not happening again. Ever again.
You may want to find some hard canvas.
Yeah, I'm going to do something. Man, that was horrible. But, man, that was, like I said, those were the 2 best hunting trips I've been on. I enjoyed those so much. And it's one of those where I know I got a few buddies I hunt with they're always, I don't want to say scared. Scared's the wrong word to use. They're apprehensive about putting in for draws. I was like, why? Why? Yeah. I mean, you never know. You may get drawn, you may not. If you don't, a lot of states give you the bonus point. You can use it next year.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, if you don't do some of this stuff, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. I wasn't going to go. When you guys asked me to go, I was like, oh, no, man, I don't really care about antelope. And you made a statement to me that really kind of sold me. I was like, oh, man, it's better than – it tastes so much better than venison. Man, there's no way.
Whoa.
You said that.
I told you what my wife said.
Okay.
My wife likes it a whole lot better than venison. I'm still a venison guy.
I agree. I love venison, but it still tastes better than venison. It does.
Yeah. It does taste. It tastes really good.
Call me, we'll argue, but it tastes so much better. It's naturally seasoned.
Yeah. It's got that natural sage flavor to it.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's tender.
Yeah.
It's tender. I've never had a tough piece of it at all. I mean, it was so tender, but I will say, you guys taught me the way. You guys showed me the way of going out there to hunt them and stuff and how to take care of them. You guys told me if you kill one, don't drag it. If you want to get it mounted, don't drag it. You were right. The hair's, it's hollow. It falls out.
Oh, yeah.
It falls out. Quick. My mount now, me moving so much, my mount's missing some spots. damn.
Yeah, you got to really watch especially if you're going to get one mounted out there. Yeah, you definitely
Yeah.
got to have a game card or something so you're not dragging it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to pick my first one up.
Yeah.
So muddy because it gets wet out there and it's just mud everywhere.
Oh
You're not
yeah.
dragging one through all that, so I had to carry it.
Yeah, and it's hard walking.
Yeah, yeah, because that mud weighs about 20 pounds on each boot, and you got that antelope on your back. I was like, dude, this sucks.
Yeah.
But you guys were right. Don't ever shoot one way out there. I was stupid. I didn't realize how
Oh,
far out I was.
we tried telling you. I remember yours. It was way down the valley next to the other fence line.
You're the one walking me in on the radio. They're coming down the hill right to you. I was like, I don't see them. How do you not see them right in front of you? There's a hillside from me. I can't see nothing. And here come two heads popping. I was like, oh, hey.
Hey, to be fair, though, I did say don't shoot it unless it's a good one. And you thought it was a good one. So you shot it. And it, got to admit, it was a good one.
Yeah, it was good, but God, that sucked. That was a horrible drag. Well, horrible carry, I should say, because man.
Well, as soon as Blaze and I heard your shot, we were like, oh, shit. Because we knew right where you were at.
I didn't. I had no clue how far out I was.
Oh, I knew right where you were at. I was like, oh, man, this is not going to be fun.
Well, I remember Mike calling me on the radio. He's like, dude, we can't get the game card to you. I was like, what? He goes, no, man, it's too muddy. There's no way we're getting the game card. I was like,
oh, yeah, we tried. We tried to get the game cart down there, and about every 5 foot, we were trying to pull 20 pounds of mud off the tires. We went about 50 foot, and we were like, the hell with this. We can't, there's no way. Especially after you put an antelope on there, it's only going to even collect more mud.
Yep. Oh, man, when you guys called and said that, I was like, oh, God, this sucks. I was like, oh, I guess I'm carrying. I guess I'm going to start carrying. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it was worth it, though. It was worth it. It really was. That was the best trip I've ever been on. And I had a blast with you guys. And then
yeah, it was fun.
You guys switched. Well, hold on. We'll talk about the next trip I went on with you guys out there. Because that was crazy with the weather.
Oh, yeah, it was. That was crazy.
2 days?
Yeah. Well, you got down on our second day of hunting already.
Yeah, you guys already been there 2 days. I got down there and I hunted one day. We went out we didn't even go out the next day. Because the next day is when we woke up and it was pouring.
No, I think you got 2 days in.
Or yeah, you're right. I got 2 days of hunting. Day 3, we were getting up to go out, and it was just nothing but a monsoon going.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Oh, yeah. And then here we are trying to pack up in the rain. And, of course, all that mud and trying to walk around camp.
Yeah.
Oh, and then trying to get out of there with the vehicles. Because we were down in that road. Yeah, we were down in that valley. And then we thought, hey, we get up to the road, we'll be all right. No.
No.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't all right. It took us a while to get to the actual hard pack road.
Yeah. Well, because people don't realize how far out there you really are. You're out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all dirt roads. So if it rains or it snows, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Well, that's the trip Aaron come down on too, wasn't it?
Yeah. He drove down the night before.
Yeah. He didn't even get to hunt.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no, we did. So when you guys left, me and my buddy Corey and Aaron, we all went into town and got a hotel room.
Okay.
Me and Aaron looked at the map, and there was a piece of where we were still allowed to hunt. Because, you get drawn for a certain unit.
Yes.
There was a tip on the northern part of our unit it was all hardball. So me and Aaron got to the hotel. We all unpacked our stuff out of the truck. I turned the shower on in our room, was washing some of my clothes because they got kind of muddy out there. We were packing up.
Yeah.
I washed them off because the hotel we stayed in, the washing machine wasn't working. The dryer was. So since the washer was tore up, the lady's like, I'll just let you use the dryer for free. All right, cool. So I threw my clothes in the dryer real quick, got them dry. Me and Aaron jumped in the truck and went out that southern tip. We both almost killed a nice big buck out there. They come down. So you got the hardball going straight down. Off to the left and right was just big sage flats.
Yeah.
There was 2 herds out there. We could only hunt the left side. We couldn't hunt the right side. The left side was our unit. Right side wasn't. I didn't want to get a golden ticket like you guys got.
Yeah, I should have joined the club.
Oh, no. I learned from your guys' trip. I don't want to be a part of that club.
Well, trust me, I didn't either. And I didn't even have a gun.
I know. That's the one thing, man. When I tell that story, I always tell people he didn't even take his gun. His gun was sitting next to me in camp. He was just driving.
Yeah. I was just driving down the main road and yeah.
How far outside the area were you guys? It was like 50 feet, wasn't it?
Well, the road was the border. So we were driving on the road.
Yep.
And the herd crossed from the area that we were supposed to be hunting in. Just found that, we didn't know. We thought it was all the same area.
Yeah.
They crossed the road and was probably 50 yards in the other area. And, hey, mistakes happen. We should have known. We should have had the hunt onyx, but none of us knew about that back in the day.
No.
And the game warden, he was pretty nice about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he still gave us a ticket, but and then he's the one that told us about the hunt onyx and everything and how it shows you where the borders are and everything.
Yep.
So the next year, each one of us had hunt onyx. Yeah.
I am so glad, man. I was going to jump in the truck with you guys and go. I was so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I stayed. I was like, man, that would suck. God. But I mean, it's mistakes happen. Just like the guy that the elk hunter come out and talked to us that night.
Yeah.
Him and his buddy.
Yep.
Shot that monster elk and then kind of find out he was only a couple 100 feet in another area. So he lost the elk and his gun. They took his gun too.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, man, that sucks. I mean, you don't know. I mean, Onyx has been a lifesaver for me on quite a few hunts now.
Fortunately for us, the only thing we got was a ticket. I mean, it could have been worse. He could have took the camper, the truck, the guns, everybody's guns. But like I said, he was really, really cool about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, and he even let the guy that shot the antelope keep the antelope where he could have took that.
I remember that.
Now I'm sure if it would have been a nice buck, he probably would have took it. But it was only a doe, so.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I know they see it every year. They do. They have to, because you get guys that aren't used to hunting out there. They're not used to the boundaries. I'm sure they see it every year. And they can always tell the guys are lying to them. The guys are being honest. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, in fact, the following year we ran into the same guy, and at first he didn't recognize us. And we started talking to him, real nice, and then we told him about the ticket that he gave us the year prior, and he's like, "Yeah." He says, "I remember now because Matt, it was actually on his birthday."
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was.
He didn't realize that it was Matt's birthday, or he would have probably just gave Matt a warning, but he had already wrote the ticket out, so Matt had to get the ticket anyway. So we were telling the story back to the game warden that gave us the ticket, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I remember you guys now." He's like, "Yeah," he says, "I hear all kinds of stories and stuff, and, I can usually tell when somebody's, making up a bullshit story or trying to get out of it." He says, "But I didn't get that with you guys, so that's why I didn't, press it any further. I just gave you the tickets." So we all paid our fine. We learned a valuable lesson, and we moved on from that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's an accident, man. Shit happens. It happens. It can happen back here. Me and a buddy were out scouting a piece of private ground we got. We're walking along. I was like, man, we've been walking for a while. I could have swore the boundary's right up here. I looked, and we were about probably 400 or 500 yards onto the neighbor's property. I was like, oh man, we gotta go. We gotta go. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't marked anywhere, no trespassing, but I don't want to be on somebody else's land. I don't want to do that. So yeah. Onyx is a really good tool to use, and that's what I use everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. And that's what we use. We use that a lot when I met you guys down there. I think that was 2018, I believe.
Yeah, probably somewhere around in there. Yeah, I do believe so. Yeah.
So I think that was one of the last years you guys antelope hunted. You guys started elk hunting after that.
This episode is powered by Dead Nuts Outdoors, makers of the most lifelike, lightweight, and weatherproof 2D archery targets in the world. That's right, I said 2D. We're talking full-size animals that bring the hunt to your backyard. Whether you're dialing in before the season or just burning daylight with your bow, Dead Nuts Targets makes practicing fun, training on full-size animals to ensure every rep in the backyard converts to success on your trips to the field. Built to last, easy to haul, compatible with any backstop, and 100% made in the USA, Dead Nuts Outdoors is a proud supporter of our veterans, investing in conservation and rooted in building a better, more confident community of hunters every step of the way. They are proud supporters of the Prayin' and Slayin' Podcast Network, and you can get 10% off your Dead Nuts targets by using the code Prayin' and Slayin' at checkout. That's Prayin' and Slayin' at your checkout or visiting the link in the show notes. Dead Nuts is helping us all hit the spot, not the dot. Hit it, Dead Nuts. Now, let's get back to the episode.
One year that we didn't get drawn, well, matter of fact, the first year that we didn't get drawn to hunt antelope, we saw that in the area right above where we were camping at had over-the-counter elk tags. So we all just went ahead and bought an elk tag, and we tried that out. We seen elk every day. Bad thing is they know where the property line is, and they were always on private land, and they would cross the public land at night or, right before dark or whatever. I mean, we did catch him out on public land one time. Yeah. And the guys moved in. I went with them, but I looked back about halfway there and I saw how far that truck was away, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stand right here. Because with the way that they were headed, the guys, if they would have took a shot, would have probably kicked them my way. And mine would have been a whole lot easier drag than what they would have had to do. But nobody took a shot. And they ended up turning around and going back over on the private land. So, which was a blessing because we were probably a good 3 miles from the truck. Or they were. No, actually I was 3 miles from the truck. They were about 5.
Oh, wow. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh. And I think that's one of the reasons why nobody over there that went in that group pulled the trigger, because they could look back and see where the truck was, and they were just like, no.
So now you guys bought those tags over the counter.
Yes.
Have you guys been buying your tags over the counter every year when you go out there?
So no, we actually put in for the draw for a different area. And we got drawn on somebody's private land. And we went out there. And, of course, we didn't interpret his map the best that we could have, because he drew us a map and said, okay, you can go all the way up to here, but don't cross this fence. Okay. We still had Onyx. It was still his land, but we took it as he didn't want us to cross that fence over into that part of his land. So we didn't until probably our 4th day in hunting. Yeah. And Mike and I were sitting back up on top of the mountain, and him and his boy and his wife, and they were up there driving around, and they ran into Mike, and he's like, no, you need to cross that fence and go down over by where the old cabin is into the flats. That's where all the elk are. So needless to say, Mike and I, we tried calling the other group because they were all the way on the other end of the mountain. Nobody was picking up their phone. So Mike and I was like, you know what? We tried. We're going after them. Yep. So we get down in there, and of course we're driving around, and we kind of took a wrong turn, and we ended up at another fence line. It's like, this is the fence that he told us not to cross, but there was a trail that went along the edge of the fence. Yep. Well, Mike and I, all right, well, let's drive it. That turned into be a mistake.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you only had like the width of the truck, and we had branches scraping the side of the truck, and poor Mike's truck took a beating. We'll just put that way. But there was no place to turn your truck around. So once you committed to it, you had to go.
You had to see it through.
Yeah. And we had no idea where we were going because service back there wasn't working, and we didn't pre-download on Onyx that part of the map.
Oh, man.
So we had no idea where we were at. And when we knew we were still on his land because we were still inside the fence.
Yeah.
Well, we get to this one part, and it's like a sheer drop off on the driver's side, and the fence is on the right side, and it's only wide enough for a vehicle, but then it also went straight down and then, turned to come up. I was like, Mike, I said, we're going for it. Well, of course we were in 4-wheel drive. And about the time we got about halfway down that sucker, the rear passenger side tire come up because it was kind of at an angle like this too.
Yep.
And that rear tire come up off the ground. I was like, oh man, I just let off the brake and coasted it down into the dip. Boy, we were shaking. Yeah. And then, of course, we get out there, we get out down off of this 2-track and get down to where the big open fields are.
Mm-hmm.
Elk everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I'm like, oh, well, there they all are, and we're trying to get up on them, but you're in a big open field.
Yeah.
And we finally get to this one part where we can park the truck behind a little hilltop.
Yep.
And then we get out and we're looking and looking and looking. The elk were headed right toward the base of this mountain. Never did see them. I don't know where they disappeared to, but we're like, all right. So it's starting to get a little dark. You can tell that it's going to get dark probably within the next hour. We still have no idea where we're at because that part of our map is not downloaded.
Oh, man.
So we're just following the 2-track out. So we get around to where there's a fence, and then finally I have service, and I can see that on the other side of the fence is not his land. So I'm like, we're at the end of his land. I have no idea where we're at, Mike. But over on the right-hand side, man, there must have been probably 300 head of elk over there. And they were working their way toward us. So we kind of just sit there for a little bit and, they weren't being pressured. So they were just moseying. They were not going to make it to us. And we probably had about a half hour left.
Yeah.
Still had no idea how to get out of here. We weren't going back the way we came. That's for sure. I'd have stayed the night in the truck first. So we get to where we go back, start following that 2-track back the way we came, and we noticed the 2-track that went off to the right. I was like, well, let's try it. I have no idea where we're at.
Nope.
So we get on that and we come up. And we come up over this little mound, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of elk right there. I mean, we're smack dab in the middle of the land, and it's almost shooting light is gone. Yep. But we still had no idea where we're at. Yep. None of us has ever killed an elk before. We had no idea. And it's just me and Mike.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm going to jump out and shoot one, Mike. He's like, go ahead. What are you waiting on? So I get out the truck and I open the back seat to grab my gun. And of course, they took off. Right. Blessing in disguise, we only had about 10 minutes of light left.
Oh, yeah.
We still don't know where we're at. So we drive up there and there's a big pond. I was like, oh, no wonder they were here. So I was like, all right. So we're driving along. And then finally we hit a fence. And the trail goes right up next to the fence line. And then there's a place where you can go through that fence, which is the fence that we were originally thought we weren't supposed to cross.
Yeah.
Well, where you drive through at is where we've been parking. So we knew as soon as we got to that point, we knew exactly where we are.
Yep.
Well, Mike and I were still a little shaken up, after our little adventure. So we get up top and the other guys are already down off the mountain making their way back to camp. We give them a call and say, hey, we ain't cooking anything tonight. Go to town, get some pizza and get some beer because we need it. So, and Mike, he hadn't drank anything in I don't know how many years, a long time he's been sober. Well, he ended up drinking a beer that night. That's how shaken up, it was a little hairy.
Oh,
so, to get him to drink a beer, that was
it had to be pretty hairy.
Yeah. So that was our first year of hunting in a different area where we put in for tags on somebody's private land.
Yeah.
So we put in for the same area because now we knew where to go, how to get down there safely.
Yeah.
And we ended up not getting drawn. But the area that we first hunted in had leftover tags.
Okay.
So we ended up buying more leftover tags there. We knew the area because we'd hunted it 2 years prior.
Yeah.
So we knew where all the private land was. I mean, we still used Hunt Onyx, but we kind of knew exactly where all the BLM land was and the state land. Again, no luck. So now we've been hunting 4 years I think it was 4 years that we'd been hunting elk and nobody has pulled the trigger. Nobody's
Yep.
even had them, was able to.
Yeah.
So the last year that we went out there, which was not this past year, but the year prior,
Yep.
we were staying in KC and we ran into one of the game wardens out there where we hunted at on the private land. He
Yeah.
was over there filling in, and he was telling us about a program now that you don't have to put in for the draw. If you have a landowner that'll let you hunt on their land, you can put in for this type of you can select a different type of license and you can buy it right over the counter. You don't even have to put in for the draw
Oh, that's cool.
as long as you got the landowner's permission.
Yeah.
So of
Yeah.
course, this past year we called the landowner up. He's like, "Yeah, come on out. I'll let you guys come hunt." So that's what we did. We didn't even put in for the draw. We just bought our tags, when they were available, and went back out there and went back down to the area that where all the elk were, and first couple of days was rough, because it was flat down there, and the way that we were coming in
Mm-hmm.
without having to walk 10 miles to get there, riding on that two track and then parking somewhere and then going and looking. Of course, they was spotting us because they were skyline. They were coming up over the mountaintops, and they'd stand up there, and of course they'd see you, and then they'd take off, or
Oh, yeah, gone.
yeah. So the first couple of days, I kind of pattered them, and I seen this one where we had originally stopped the first time we were there and parked the truck, and they kept coming over the same mountaintop along the fence line. So I was like, all right, so we need to get up earlier because it was a long drive. It's a long drive back in there.
Yeah.
So we got up a little earlier that day and we all drove up there, got the truck hid to where they couldn't see it, behind a mountaintop, and get on that fence line. I got Mike and I got Mike with me,
Yep.
and then Matt and my brother-in-law Jody, they took off the other way because they were going to walk where that two track was that we originally came down on. That was scary. So get up there. And the first time I ever heard one bugle in the wild was
Mhm.
this last trip. And they were just bugling. As soon as we parked the truck and got out, you could hear them bugling. I was like, oh man, this is so neat.
Yes.
So grab all my stuff out. I start walking up to the fence line. Well, I don't make it 20 yards in front of the truck, and there's four bulls standing probably 50 yards on the other side of the fence that I'm only 20 yards from. So within 100 yards, I got four big bulls, and they're just bugling, no cows with them. I was like, oh man, all right. I was like, well, I know I need to go up this mountainside because they're going to cross probably 300 yards from me. So
Mm-hmm.
Mike and I start walking up there. Well, Mike only makes it halfway, and so I go to the rest of the way up because he's going to wait and see if anything comes around that mountainside.
Mm-hmm.
I get up there, they're already on top. I'm like, oh man. So I look for cactus, and then I got down on the ground. So I hit them with the rangefinder, and I saw that they were like 360 some yards away. I'm like, all right. So I dial my scope to 360 yards.
Yep.
I get down, I get in the scope, and of course there's a cow there.
Yep.
I go to look, and the sun had popped up just as I was getting ready to get on her. Couldn't see anything through my scope. I'm like, oh man. So I come out of the scope and I look up. She's still standing up there. So I kind of moved away from the fence, tried a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Pop up her sun. I'm like, man. So I come out of the scope, and then they weren't there. But I caught them coming down that ridge. I'm like, oh, they're going into the bottom. I need to get to where I could look down into the bottom right there because there was a little gully in between two mountain ranges.
Yep.
So I get up there, and, I kind of peek my head up over a little bit. I don't see him. So I raise up a little bit further up on my elbows and finally get up on my hands, and then finally I'm just up on my knees, and I'm like, where in the world did they go? They're nowhere to be found. They should be right here in this little bowl.
Yeah.
So I get back down on my hands and knees, and I'm getting ready to grab my gun and start moving forward to where I could see, toward the ridge that I was on.
Yep.
And that cow popped up 5 foot in front of me on that fence line. We scared the shit out of each other. Yeah. Yeah. My heart's racing, I'm like, oh my gosh, here's just a face right in front of me, 5 foot in front of me, and she runs back down the fence line. I'm like, all right, so I'll use this time to get over to where I could see down in that bowl.
Yeah.
So I did. Well, she went into some pine trees right there that was along the fence line. I could hear her down there, and I could hear the other 2 bulls that were with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she ran out right in the open. She was probably maybe 100 yards. I dialed my scope back down to 100,
Yep.
put the crosshairs on her, and was able to pull the trigger, and good clean shot. She ran probably 30 yards and fell into this gully and laid up right there. So this past year was the first year that any of us have gotten an elk, and gratefully it was me, and hopefully the other guys have some luck next year.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a tree stand when I got the picture. I was like, son of a bitch, he got one today. I was like, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
So me and a buddy of mine went out there 2023 elk hunting in Wyoming, but we went through a veteran organization and got free tags.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were donated. Man, we were hunting. God, I can't remember where we were at now. I don't remember what town we were around, but we were hunting.
I thought you said it was up around Buffalo or something like that.
Something like that. I think
up
you're
north
right.
there.
Yeah. We were 5 miles up in the mountain, and then once you get up in the mountain, we were probably 7 or 8 miles back in there.
Yeah.
And we never crossed paths with elk. We heard a couple bugle first morning. Saw a ton of mule deer. I was like, man, I wish I'd have bought a mule deer tag now. I'd have tagged out first day on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of muleys out there.
Oh, yeah. We only got 2 days of hunting. Day 3, or no, it was day 3. It was daytime on day 3. Game warden stops by. He's like, hey, you guys got to go. You got to get out of here. Like, why? He's like, we got a blizzard coming. You guys don't get out of here, you're going to get stuck here, and you'll be stuck here for a month or more. He's like, you got to go. Deuces, we're out. That's all we had to hear. We packed up camp. We're gone. Took off. But it's like there's so many opportunities for veterans to go out there and hunt. People just don't know about it.
Yeah.
They just don't know about it. So that's why I want to get a list together and try to post it at the end of this episode and have all the different resources for hunting out there. That's why I always tell people anyway on these podcasts, I've had guys come on and talk about hunting Fort Leavenworth, and guys talk about hunting Fort Leonard Wood. And I'm doing an episode by myself talking about hunting Fort Knox and a couple little military bases here in Indiana that I hunt too. But I always tell them, you got to check your regs. I call any state I go to. I always call DNR.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, I can read the reg book, but there's things there you may miss. I want to make sure I'm doing everything. Plus, I found out a couple years ago, I didn't know. So me and a buddy go to Illinois to hunt every year. We got put in for the draw. What we found out after our first 2 years hunting there, we're going to year 3. We don't have to buy a license over there. All you have to have if you're a disabled vet to hunt Illinois is you have your VA card. That's your license.
Oh, really?
You just buy your tags. I was like, okay. So, hey, shame on me. I didn't call before. But it's like I even talked to Missouri. So when I lived at Leonard Wood, you had to buy state tags, and you had your Fort Leonard Wood post tags.
Yeah.
Well, they changed that. You don't have to have tags anymore on Leonard Wood. It's just your state tags. And by me calling DNR, I found that out. Plus, I found out, too, me being a disabled vet, I pay resident prices, not non-resident prices.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I called and found that stuff out. So that's my experiences is kind of what made me want to do this podcast. And then it's like I told Aaron, guys like you you guys travel all these places to hunt too. I want to get you guys to come on and talk about that, and that way get that information out too. Because just like you said, you guys didn't know until you talked to the game warden that you didn't have to put in for the draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many resources out there, man, for veterans especially. We just don't know about it. So, that's why I wanted to get you on to talk about that. And I'm going to try to jump on with you guys one year going out there, but it's hard right now because I've got the fall for me is kind of busy with sports, and then I try to hunt on my own too. So I may have to wait till all my kids are out of school. I may have to wait. I just don't have the time in the fall that I want. So,
Yeah.
And I try to pile too much stuff on because football is normally over towards the end of October. So then it's like I'm trying to make up. Like I'm trying to go to, which I was going to talk to you too, see if you want to go to Kansas this year, possibly for deer season.
My wife said yes. Yes, he does.
Okay, cool. So I'll start a group for that. We missed the turkey stuff, but
yeah. Well, yeah, I know.
Well, you were gone. We're gonna talk about why you screwed us on that anyway. We're gonna talk about that.
Damn, I knew you were gonna blame me.
It's honestly not your fault because I didn't remind you,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to bother you because I knew you were on another hunt. So we're gonna talk about that hunt here in a minute too, and see how you guys came into that. But April 1st, I will go on and start the group. But you've got between now and April 1st, and I hope your wife hears this so she can remind you and stay on your butt to do it. You've got to create an account for Kansas.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Okay.
I know you're getting older. I know you're starting to get a little senile. Don't forget.
She'll remind me.
All right. I trust her. I trust her. I know she will. I know you'll forget.
Yeah. Probably. Fishing season's right around the corner, so
I know. That'll take up most of your time there, and you'll forget about that. So
yeah, and then turkey season comes in.
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to turkey, which I may come to Missouri for turkey. I'm kicking around the idea I may.
Come on.
I'll have to look
a place for us to go.
Season opens.
What's that?
I'll have to look and see when your guys' season opens.
April 15th, I think.
Let me look right now. Let's see here.
Somewhere around there, 10th, 15th.
Yeah, because I think your guys' season starts before ours.
Go ahead. How loud is it going to be?
Have him tell me.
Okay. Wife's starting dinner, so if you can hear it sizzling in the background, let me know.
Oh,
You
you're
can turn
good.
it off. And once we got that one loaded up, they all took off back to go start skinning because we had 2 side-by-sides. So it was just down to me and my brother-in-law hadn't shot one yet. So we make our way back over to where we very first started off. That same group of rams was still out there. They had a really, really nice doll, and I was looking at it, through the binos and everything, and he was a pretty good size. I had all intentions on shooting him until the Corsican stepped in front of him, and then I got to looking at his horns, and they kind of curled back, and then they come and they like flattened out, almost like knife blades. I was like, oh, well, that's pretty sweet. I was like, that's the one I want. So I ended up shooting that one, but my intention was to go for that doll. Because while we were driving around, I was like, man, I should have shot that doll. And the guy was like, oh, don't worry, we'll end up back over there. He's probably still around the area. Of course he was, but that I didn't even see the Corsican the first time, or I'd have probably shot it right out the gate, 30 minutes into it. But, a couple hours later, I was able to actually get to him and shoot him. So it's pretty neat.
So did you guys just buy tags over the counter for that, or just buy them from the guide?
Yeah, we bought it through the guy that owns the ranch.
Okay.
The only thing when you go down there to Texas to hunt exotics, you just got to buy an exotics. I think it's a 5-day license.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're hunting on somebody's private land, it's being an exotic, you pay them. The state of Texas doesn't get anything, as far as I know, and hopefully I'm not incriminating anybody.
No, I don't think so, because I hunted exotics back in, I think, 2005. I think is when it was, 05. And I didn't have to I bought my license from the ranch I was going on, because I shot a doll. I shot a doll from a ranch, and mine's kind of like yours. It curls. I had a full curl, and then when it gets to the end, mine kind of blade out this way.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that was awesome. I actually filmed the hunt. I thought at the time, and you can hear it in the video. I had a buddy of mine, German friend of mine, recording for me. I'm laying down in the prone, and I've got a friggin' boar coming at me. And the guide's there. I said, listen, I'm not paying for that, but if it gets any closer, I'm shooting that son of a bitch too. I mean, he's right up on me. He goes, give it a second. He'll probably take off. And he's like, as a matter of fact, just kind of don't stand up, but just kind of get up a little bit. So I got up a little bit. He took off. He's like, yeah, he'll leave us alone now. And I had a doll, and I think it was a Corsican too down here. The doll come out. I was like, yeah, I want that one. He was big bodied, great curl. I was looking at him. I was like, yeah, I'm taking that one. Well, my buddy was videoing him, but then he'd bring the camera to me, back to him. Well, he was on the one I was going to shoot. As I pulled the trigger, it scared him. So when he come up, he missed the actual kill itself.
Oh.
But man, when I shot it, hit him right. I mean, perfect behind his shoulder, perfect shot. I was using a 270 at the time. It hit him. You could hear it smack. Come up on his hind legs and did a flip and landed on his back.
Oh, wow.
And then my cousin shot a Corsican probably an hour later with his bow. He always wanted to kill one with a bow, so we took his bow and shot one. But that was one of the funnest hunts too, man. It was a blast just seeing all the animals we got to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they actually had buffalo too, right around the lodge that we were staying at, because they had a water, a pond right there that had bass and stuff in there. Well, the buffalo would come up and get water out of the pond, and they would hang around right there. So that was pretty neat, seeing the buffalo.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
We weren't probably 50 yards from them.
I'd love to get some buffalo meat.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bother you about the Kansas stuff, because I knew you were on that hunt. I was like, I'm gonna leave you guys alone. I saw your guys' pictures. Do me a favor too. Text me a field photo of your elk and the exotic, because I'm gonna post both of those when I put this up on the platforms. I'll post a picture of those.
Okay.
So it'll be like your action photo for your your episode.
All right.
Because I saw your guys' post on Facebook. I was like, oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. I didn't know how long you guys were going to be there. I didn't know how long of a trip it was.
We could have left out a half a day, you know. I mean, it really only took all 6 of us probably 3 hours tops to get him. But I mean, we had a day and a half to hunt. We ended up Super Bowl being on Sunday, you know, when we booked it, didn't think about the Super Bowl was on Sunday. So a bunch of us wanted to watch the Super Bowl. So we ended up taking off that evening, I think we drove almost to Waco and got a hotel room there, and then drove the rest of the way home Sunday. Almost made it in time for kickoff. You know, we missed it by probably 15 minutes, not even the first quarter. It was still in the first quarter when we got home.
Not bad, man.
Yeah.
Not bad. Man, I'm glad you guys had fun. Like I said, I didn't know how long you guys were going to be gone, so I wasn't going to bother you. I didn't know, like ours, I think ours was like 3 days. I think it was a 3-day hunt. We both tagged out day one. And then it was actually kind of cool because we were going to leave the morning of the second day. Because we were tagged out and we were done. Even my German buddy, he got one. He killed a Hawaiian. And we were going to leave the second morning. I got up, and the guy that owned the ranch across the road, he owned that property too. And he come running in the lodge. He goes, "Hey, you got your gun handy?" I was like, "Yeah, it's right here." He's like, "Come outside with me." Okay. I grabbed my gun. He's like, "Make sure you bring enough rounds." I don't know what that means.
How many's enough?
I just grabbed a whole box and took off. He's like, "Hey, see that over there?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Shoot those coyotes." Man, there's like 5 coyotes chasing a couple deer across the field.
Yeah.
So I run out. I was like, "I can't shoot across the road." He goes, "No, go to the edge of the road. Just shoot across. You'll be fine. I own all this. Nobody's going to say a word." Okay. I run to the edge of the road, lay down, threw my bipods out, and come up. First coyote comes running across. The deer are probably 60 yards in front of me. As soon as the last deer gets past me, the first coyote comes in. I kind of made like a little mouse noise in my mouth. They stopped. Boom! Dropped it. Here come another one. So I just rotated over. Boom! End up taking out like 3 coyotes for the guy.
Oh, nice.
He's like, "I won't charge you for that." So I know you're not going to. You told me to shoot them.
Yeah.
I ain't paying nothing.
Well, seeing that was like us, you know, we'd got done early that opening morning. You know, we were done by like noon.
Yep.
So that evening, you know, the guy that was the ranch manager, he's like, "Man, we got some hog issues. You know, we're starting because they had them thinned out. Well, I guess they started making a comeback."
Yep.
And he's like, "You guys want to go and do a hog hunt?" Well, yeah, duh. I said, "How much is it?" They're like, "No, nothing. You just shoot them. We need them gone." I said, "Yeah."
Heck yeah.
But I ended up not seeing any hogs. A couple of guys got some shots off. Don't know if we hit them. You know, that was so thick down there. And of course, the guide that come back and picked us up, he's like, "I ain't going in there after dark, not with all that cactus and brush." And of course, he didn't have a flashlight either. So Blaze ended up tagging 2 of them, but they, like I said, they run off into that brush, and he was just thankful that they got shot. So it'd been nice to recover them.
Oh yeah, that's good meat.
Yeah,
that's good meat. But man, they're a nuisance down there. I mean, they're a nuisance anywhere. They all they do is tear up land. That's all they do is tear stuff up. So
yeah,
they're destructive.
Seen a shit ton of javelina too.
Oh yeah, I want one of those so bad.
They're so small.
They are, man. I want one so bad.
Like, oh. Of course, we saw them, you know, driving at night. And of course, they're so tiny and black, and they blend right into that asphalt. And you're on top of them before you know it. Luckily, we didn't hit any.
Yeah.
Not that, you know, hitting it into my truck would have hurt anything, but we've probably seen 50 or 60 of them. They were everywhere. Yeah. And they like to stay right next to the edge of the road too. They don't care. They don't move.
I want to go to Texas and do some hunting and stuff. So the drill sergeant I had on last night, he's from Texas. And then I talked to a guy from 1MO Archery. He's down by Fort Hood. So I'm thinking about taking both them up on going to Texas and doing some hunting. I want to go do some turkey hunt. Yeah. I want to finish my slam. That's what I really want to do. So I thought one year, man, maybe me and you, we'd have to go in February. but go to Florida and go after some Osceolas.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just want to go down there. I mean, I want to finish my slam, so it's like I've got to get the rest of them done.
You know, we probably ought to get a hold of Dan because he lives down in Florida now.
Yeah, that's what I thought about doing was get a hold of him and see if we can come down and see if he wants to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he knows his way around. I know he's still hunting. There's no way he'd give up hunting.
Yeah, I know he does a lot of fishing.
Yeah, that's all I ever see is fishing photos. So
yeah,
but yeah, I'd like to get a hold of him and all of us get together and maybe go on a turkey hunt down there. It'd have to be February because that's when their season comes in. Is February.
Something in between.
That's exactly what I said. Right out of deer season, go into turkey season, get a couple months off, go right back into turkey.
Yeah,
it's perfect. So maybe we'll try to shoot something like that next year. Try to shoot for
we'll
a
look
trip
into it
and go.
I'll get a hold of Dan and see what he has to say.
All right,
because he's down around the Orlando area.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's just got to be
middle way.
Yeah, he's about halfway down. I'm trying to think of where. I've got a buddy down there, and I can't remember where he's at. I've got a couple buddies. I got one in Tallahassee. The other guy, I can't remember where he's at. I met him through Tacticam when I worked with them.
Yeah.
And, he goes Osceola hunting quite a bit, actually. But I can't remember where he's at. I may get a hold of him and just say, hey, where do you go? Because I know he's got public land he goes to, but he also has a piece of private. So I may try to see if we can get on the private. Because like I said, I want to get my Osceola so I can start really getting my slam done.
Yeah.
I just need I got to get a Rio and a Merriam. So, and I'll be finished with that.
Nice.
So,
heck yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It. I had a blast. That was fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun.
We need to get you back out there to Wyoming with us.
I want to go. I just don't want any more freaking cactus. That's it.
Look before you see it.
I'm going to have to give me a bubble suit. That's the thing. I try to watch where I sit. I just miss them. So
you get too excited.
I do. I don't lie. It's fun. I love it. Man, it's dangerous.
Yes. Especially when you got about 20 or 30 of them sticking out your ass.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. I felt sorry for Tom. I should have bought him dinner after that.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Man. Oh, those were the good old days, man. That was fun.
Oh, absolutely.
We had a blast, man. That was fun stuff. Yeah, I need to get out there with you guys, too, because I haven't seen Mike in, it's been years.
Yeah.
I need to get out there. When do you guys want to go?
October.
About the middle of October or first month?
Yeah, middle to end. Sometimes like the second weekend. Usually around the second weekend on, whenever. It's really up to the landowner when he tells us that we can come out there and get on his land. So now, I mean, if it was public land, anytime we wanted to go, when season's open, yeah.
How much are tags?
I want to say 288.
How much is the bull tag?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't even looked into it.
I'll have to look and see.
Yes, I would love to get a bull, but I don't have the wall space for it. My ceilings are too low.
That's kind of how it is here, but I thought I'll make it work. I'll figure it out.
Mount that sucker on the floor if I have to. Man, I tell you, on that guy's land, I've seen more bulls than I have anything else.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
They know they're safe. That's why.
Yeah.
They know they're safe.
Yep.
I'll have to look into it and see how much tag. I don't know how much tags are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's like $700 for a bull.
That's not horrible.
No.
Not horrible at all. So you got any mule deer on his ranch?
Oh, yeah.
They let you hunt those?
I'd have to ask. Yeah, I'd have to have Mike ask. I'm sure he does, because there's a lot of them there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Well, go eat some dinner. I'm going to go in here and, I don't even know. I think we're having pork chops, I think.
Right on. Yeah, dinner's ready, so.
All right, man. Well, go eat some dinner. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. It's been
not a problem.
It's been awesome. I enjoyed it.
I had a good time.
All right, man. Well, take care, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, brother. Well,
All right, see you, man.
Yep, bye.
Bye.